Today is potato planting day for realsies this time, not our little piddly potatoes we planted a few weeks ago. And honestly, I probably could have planted these potatoes a little while ago too, but I just didn't have the time. So it's mid-April, we're getting our potatoes planted. We got 50 pounds of seed potatoes to plant. I cut them up the other day and let them dry, and so now they should be ready to plant. Anyway, so we're gonna do it the method I did in the last batch of potatoes, where I just lifted up the mulch a little bit with my pitchfork, slipped the seed potato underneath, and put the mulch back down. That worked really well. Actually, let me show you the potatoes that I planted the other day. Probably really too sunny to see most of them, but you can see them. There's a lot of green, and that is all potatoes that have grown. So they did really, really well. I was not so sure, but they have sprouted well. So we are gonna continue that. Bethany is a little disconsolate today, so we'll see how far we actually get. Peter's sleeping, so we're trying to get as much done as we can. I also did plant some sweet potatoes the other day. I read of a new, different method, I guess, of growing sweet potatoes by planting the whole sweet potato. So I planted 11 sweet potatoes. They're kind of small, but I'm like, hey, we'll see what it does. Give it a try. It might be easier than growing the slips and all that first. Anyway, I am doing these potatoes. I'm growing these potatoes in my back to Eden style garden here with mulch, and I did not compost last year, just mulch. So that is what I'm going to be doing this year. I really like the mulching method because it definitely keeps the water in, and hilling potatoes with hard dirt is really hard. This keeps it pretty simple. Also, I know you're technically supposed to rotate your crops and all that, but you know what? This row that I'm going to be planting in is the one I've consistently gotten a good potato yield in. So we'll see if that is true again this year. I'm like, I don't want to waste my time planting potatoes in other parts of the garden that don't get good yields. So we're going to try this out again and hopefully get a good crop. The mulch in this row is pretty broken down. It's not super fresh anymore, so it's allowing a lot of the weeds to grow through, but it's mostly just the henbit that was growing it up, and it's probably because, honestly, the henbit was already really growing before I even got the mulch down. I was very late this year. Anyway, this area here, I had to put cardboard down because there's a lot of Bermuda grass trying to grow through. I don't see it coming back yet, but I also don't know how well the cardboard is broken down underneath it to know if I'll be able to plant under it. So I may have to save this little area for something else. Might do pumpkins or something like that. Something sprawly, ground covery, or even sweet potatoes later. So we'll see what I'm going to do there. I don't know. But I just took out all the henbit so I can get ready to plant, basically. Here, you want me to lift you up a spot? Here we go. Grab your tater. She's going to put her tater in here. Okay? You want to put your tater underneath my pitchfork? Put it in there. There you go. Good job. All right, we need to put one here. So I'm just digging down just to underneath the soil, lifting it up, putting a tater in. Well, Anna's doing the tater putting in. Then I back up another foot or so. You got one, Bethany? Yeah. Okay, Bethany's turn. Go for it, Bethany. Stick it in there. There you go. What are you doing? Yeah. You planted them all over there? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Oh, you trying to help Mama? Right there is where they need to go? Yeah. Oh, really? Can you put one under the dirt here? We need one in here. One. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Stick it in there. No, mine. She can do. So, cardboard is not really broken down in this area yet. So, I think I'm going to go to the other side of where I put cardboard down. And I will plant something else here that will cover the area. And I only have to make a few holes in the cardboard because I don't really want to break up the cardboard too much because I really wanted to keep the Bermuda grass down. So, but I'll put something shady, hopefully, on it so that it will help cover maybe zucchini or, I don't know. Wait, it looks like a pumpkin is growing over here. Some pumpkin seeds maybe. I had pumpkins here last year, so we'll see what actually grows here. I don't know. But I did, 10, 15 feet of potatoes so far. And I'll just go to the other side of this cardboard and continue. While weeding, I found this random little plant, which I am pretty sure is a baby asparagus. The funny part is, I have never ever planted asparagus here. So I'm not really sure how it grew there. But the past couple of years, there has been a plant here that has been super feathery, which I feel like, looking back on it now, would be like an asparagus plant gone to seed. So somehow, I must have got asparagus in here somehow. Kind of weird, but I think that's what it is. Editing Mariah here. My neighbor said he is growing asparagus and has grown asparagus for several years, so pretty sure he just went to seed and a bird or something dropped it over in my garden and has been growing there ever since. Pretty funny. I have all the potatoes planted in these 2 rows. This one here and this one here. This was probably my easiest year ever planting potatoes, even though I did 50 pounds of them. Using the pitchfork like that made it go so quick. Well, quicker I guess, because it wasn't super quick. But I still got it done in 2 days, which is pretty incredible. Yeah, I hope they grow that way well. I mean, the other ones that I did that way have already sprouted and are growing nicely. So that is great. I may have to come back and mulch them a little bit as they grow, just to keep the tops from seeing the sunlight so that they don't turn green. But I think it will work really well. I was able to get down, 4 to 6 inches probably at least, and bury the seed potatoes, so the plants should be that far underground, I think. So hopefully all goes well and we get a good crop this year, because I really would like a good crop of potatoes. I planted, I don't know if I mentioned this, planted Yukon Gold potatoes. They are our favorite. They make the best mashed potatoes ever, and we enjoy eating them in other ways like French fries and potato soup and things like that. Just a very versatile potato. Potatoes can be so fun to grow because you really don't know what is underneath the wood chips until you pull them back when they're ready to harvest. It can just be so fun to grow. They can also be kind of nasty, like last year when they all rotted. Well, most of them rotted and we did not get very many good potatoes, but hopefully this year is not like that and we get lots of good potatoes and find lots of treasures underneath the soil. Hopefully this soil over here is better. Typically in the fall I'll put down like some kind of compost, like either leaf mold or just compost, and then top it with the wood chips, but I was not able to do that this year because I didn't even get to wood chipping until February, and then I just put down straight wood chips. These ones have decomposed a lot, so it's a lot more broken down than normal, so I think it will be a good medium to grow in. I think that wraps up this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to be subscribed so you can watch these potatoes grow and us harvest them come summertime. We'll probably be harvesting these in July because they only take 90 days to grow. So it's a super quick crop, and then I can plant something else here, or I can like start something in between the patches of potatoes like I did with those pumpkins that I moved into where that cardboard was. Anyway, it should be super quick, and I can throw something else in there once the potatoes are done. I'll see you next time.